Hello all, I am the Holland Phantom, and for today's video we're going to be having a live battle from the 2015 format. On one side, we've got the Raichu and Crobat deck, as used by Michikazu Tsuda, a top 16 Worlds competitor in the 2015 World Championships, going up against the Landorus and Crobat deck, as used by Rowan Stavenow, the Junior Division World Champion of 2015. The Raichu deck is going to be focused on building up a big bench using the Stadium Sky Field, and then using Raichu's Circle Circuit attack to hit for 20 damage times the number of benched Pokemon on this side of the field, while Golbat and Crobat can deal additional damage with their abilities. And the Landorus deck is going to be focused on using Landorus' attack Hammerhead to spread damage, while also using Golbat and Crobat to spread damage to their opponent's side. So we'll see which of these two decks can take the victory today. And for today, I'd like to shout out Discord users Echo and Redhead Games for sharing their Pokemon pictures with us. So if you'd also like to share your Pokemon pictures with us, please be sure to join our Discord server, which I'll link in the description below. And like always, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel and to my Twitter account at Holland_Phantom so you don't miss out on any new Pokemon TCG content. And now with that out of the way, let's get into the battle! And here we go, the battle has started, with both players flipping over their starting Pokemon. On the Raichu side, we've got Zubat as the active Pokemon, and on the Landorus side, we've got Hawlucha as the active Pokemon. The Raichu side is going first, benching 2 Pikachu, and now activating an Ultra Ball to discard Korrina and Lysander from the hand for any Pokemon out of the deck. So let's see which Pokemon they're going to be choosing. And it's going to be the Shaymin EX to draw some more cards out of the deck with its ability setup once it hits the bench. Okay, and there it goes. Another player can draw until they have 6 cards in their hand. And let's see what else they can play for their first turn. There we see a double colored energy coming down to one of the Pikachu. And then that's going to be it. The turn passes over to the other side. And let's see what the Landorus player can do. They're going to be starting out by benching their own Zubat, followed by activating the Stadium card Silent Lab, which negates the abilities of all basic Pokemon. And then we see a supporter card being played, Korrina, to shuffle away the player's hand and draw 1 card for each bench Pokemon on both sides, for a total of 4 cards. Okay, so they must have had a pretty bad hand to draw only 4 cards out of that supporter. Oh, and that's going to be it. They didn't have anything else to play. That was a really bad turn for the Landorus player. On the other side, the player's going to be activating Sky Field as their stadium to get rid of the Silent Lab on the other side. Another Zubat comes down to the bench, and now both Pikachu evolve into Raichu. One of the Raichu goes into the active spot to take the KO against Hawlucha this turn. And there's the attack, Circle Circuit. Taking the KO, and taking the first prize of the game. Okay, on the other side, we see a Zubat coming into the active spot. They're going to be getting rid of the Sky Field with Fighting Stadium. And then we see the VS Seeker to search the discard pile for Korrina once again, to shuffle away the player's hand and draw another 4 cards. Okay, they need to draw another basic Pokemon right now, otherwise you're going to be losing the game on the following turn. So let's see what they got. Did they get any more Pokemon? Okay, they're going to be using the Ultra Ball to search out a Pokemon, discarding a Fighting Stadium and Professor Sycamore for any Pokemon out of the deck. And they're going to be choosing their own Shaymin EX now to keep drawing some more cards. But they're also going to be needing an attacker this turn. So let's see if they can get one. The Shaymin comes down to activate the ability setup. And they're going to be drawing until they have 6 cards in their hand. Did they get an attacker this turn? And yes, they did. It's going to be the Landorus coming down and the Fighting Energy. Oh, and the Muscle Band as well. The Muscle Band gives the Landorus 20 extra attack power. So Hammerhead can hit for 50 damage, and then ×2 for weakness. And that should be enough to take the KO against Raichu, and Hammerhead also hits one of the bench Zubat for 30 damage. And now both sides are tied, 5 prizes remaining apiece. Okay, the damaged Zubat now jumps into the active spot. Let's see what the Raichu player can do. Another Shaymin comes down to the bench to activate the ability setup, once again drawing until the player has 6 cards in their hand. Do they have another double colorless energy? And yes, they do. Double colorless energy comes down to the bench Raichu. And another Skyfield comes down to get rid of the Fighting Stadium. Okay, so Raichu can hit for 80 damage right now. Actually, make that 100, with the Jirachi coming down to activate the ability Stellar Guidance to then search the deck for any supported card. Oh, actually, no, Raichu still hits for 80 damage because Landorus is resistant to Electric-type Pokemon. Or Lightning-type Pokemon. I get those confused sometimes. They're called Electric types in the video games. They're called Lightning types in the trading card game. Okay, here we go. And now Korrina is activated, drawing 7 cards out of the deck. And let's see what else they get. With the Sky Field, the player can have up to 8 bench Pokemon. So Raichu can hit for a total of 140 damage with the full bench. Okay, yeah, Raichu's going to be jumping into the active spot. And they also have a Silver Bangle to increase the attack power by another 30. There we see an Ultra Ball, discarding a Metal Energy and N for another Pokemon out of the deck. So with the Silver Bangle, they can hit for... That's 110 damage so far. They're going to be searching out their third Shaman to keep drawing some more cards out of the deck. That brings up the total damage to 130. They still need 50 more damage to take the KO against Landorus' turn. Okay, but that's all they can do. There's the attack. Circle Circuit, hitting for 130 damage. Okay, back over to the other side. Let's see what they can do. Another Landorus comes down to the bench. And there we see the supporter card, Korrina, to search the deck for a Fighting-type Pokemon and an item card. So they're going to be searching out Hawlucha and a Super Scoop Up. So with the Super Scoop Up, it's possible the player can pick up their damaged Landorus back into their hand if they get a heads on a coin flip. Yeah, there we see the Super Scoop Up. Here's the coin flip. Let's see what they get. And it's going to be the heads. Okay, so all the damage is going to be coming off the board. There we see the second Landorus jumping into the active spot. The player does have the Fighting Energy and Muscle Band that they just picked up, so they are going to be taking the KO against Raichu. And the Zubat with the bench damage off the Hammerhead. Yeah, there's the attack. Hammerhead taking the KO against Raichu, and Zubat taking 2 more prizes for the Landorus player. They are down to 3 prizes now. And the Raichu player does not have any attacker set up. Okay, there we see a Zubat coming into the active spot. And there's the supporter card N, forcing both players to shuffle away their hands and then draw 1 card for each of the remaining prizes. So the Raichu side draws 5, and Landorus only draws 3. Did they get any more Pikachu to place onto their bench? They're going to be needing 1 more turn to evolve Pikachu and then keep attacking. Okay, first they're going to be benching a Mr. Mime to activate the ability Bench Barrier to protect the bench from the Hammerhead attacks. So we see a Pikachu coming down, along with the item card Repeat Ball, to search the deck for another Pikachu to put down. And I believe it's going to be all 4 Pikachu already being played, as the first 2 were already KO'd. And now the turn passes with no attack. Back over to the other side. Here we see another Zubat coming down to the bench. And a second Fighting Energy comes down to the active Landorus to start powering up the Land's Judgment attack. Oh, and there we see Lysander as the supporter card, bringing up one of the Pikachu into the active spot for the KO. Yeah, there's the attack. Hammerhead taking the KO against Pikachu. And Landorus is taking their 4th prize card now. The Zubat comes back into the active spot. And now Pikachu evolves into Raichu. And it's going to be getting a Silver Bangle. But does the player have an energy card? Not yet, but there we see the Professor Sycamore to draw 7 cards out of the deck. They are going to be needing the double colorless energy to attack this turn. Did they get it? Okay, another Zubat comes down to the bench, along with the Sacred Ash, to search the discard pile for up to 5 Pokemon to shuffle back into the deck. And they're going to be searching out, it looks like, all their Pikachu and Raichu. Yeah, total of 3 Pikachu, 2 Raichu being shuffled back into the deck now, just to keep recycling their main attackers. But did they get the double colorless energy? No, they didn't get any energy. They're going to be passing the turn. There we see the Fighting Stadium getting rid of the Skyfield, and now both players can only have 5 Pokemon on the bench, so the Raichu player discards one of the Shaman and the Jirachi. Let's see what else the Landorus player can do. Okay, no more cards are played. There's the attack Hammerhead, hitting for only 30 damage, as Zubat is resistant to Fighting-type Pokemon. And then we see the 3rd Skyfield coming down to get rid of the Fighting Stadium on the other side. Another Pikachu comes down to the bench now. And there we see Professor Sycamore discarding the player's hand to draw another 7 cards out of the deck. They still need some energy cards to power up their Raichu. Okay, let's see what they got. Okay, still no attack coming through. The Zubat retreats to promote another Zubat. Another Pikachu comes down. A Metal Energy is equipped to the Raichu. Not a double colorless energy. And turn passes again. Still no attacks coming through. Yeah, 3rd Zubat comes down to the Landorus player. They still don't have any Golbat to evolve them. And no more cards are played. There's another Hammerhead, hitting Zubat for 30 damage. They also didn't get their 3rd Fighting Energy to take the KO. Okay, there we see another Pikachu evolving to Raichu, and there's Computer Search, discarding 2 cards from the hand for any card out of the deck. Okay, there's a chosen card. They don't have to reveal it to their opponent. It's a very powerful card. Computer search, that's why it's an A-spec in this format. They can only have one copy in their entire deck. There we see the second fighting, it's not fighting energy, metal energy coming down to the Raichu. And one of the Zubat finally evolves into Golbat to activate the ability Sneaky Bite, placing 20 damage on the opposing Landorus. And then we see another Professor Sycamore to draw another 7 cards out of the deck. Okay, a Bronzor comes down to the bench now. The player has a full bench, so I think Raichu should be able to take the KO this turn. It's going to be a total of 160 damage, plus 30 with the Silver Bangle. It's going to be 190, minus 20 for resistance, and then plus another 20 for the damage already in Landorus. Yeah, it's going to be enough for the KO this turn. And there's the attack. Circle Circuit, taking the KO against Landorus, finally, and taking 2 prize cards. Okay, they're starting to catch up. On the other side, Zubat comes into the active spot. Does the player have an energy to power up their bench Landorus? Okay, it looks like they might, as it comes into the active spot. The player does have another Muscle Band. Okay, and it looks like they did draw into a fighting energy. There's the attack. Hammerhead to take the KO against Raichu. And now they're down to their final prize card remaining. Okay, they just got to take the KO against one more Pokemon to win this game. There we see the Golbat coming into the active spot. Another Pikachu evolves into another Raichu. Raichu gets double colorless energy. But can they take the one-hit KO against Landorus this turn? Now Bronzor evolves into Bronzong to activate the ability Metal Lynx, getting back discarded energy to equip onto the to the other Raichu. And then we see an Ultra Ball, discarding Raichu and another Ultra Ball to search the deck for any Pokemon. They might be searching out a Crobat. Yeah, it's going to be the Crobat to evolve the Golbat, placing 3 damage counters on Landorus. And would that be enough to take the KO this turn? Okay, there's the ability. Sneaky Bite? No, that's not Sneaky Bite. Surprise Bite, placing 3 damage counters on Landorus. And there we see a Shaman coming down to the bench. It should be their 4th one, activating the setup once again to draw until the player has 6 cards in their hand. Oh, and that was it. They drew their entire deck. Okay, but they have another Sacred Ash to search the discard pile for 5 more Pokemon to shuffle back into the deck, so they can't deck out just yet. It's going to be Pikachu, Raichu, I think it's a Zubat, Golbat, and Shaman. So these 5 Pokemon are going to be the player's new deck. Okay, the cards are shuffled. The deck comes back down. Again, once again, I think that should be the KO. Let's see, it's 30 damage already on it. 100 and... Actually, no, wait, never mind. I'm not going to do all that math. They have a Silver Bangle. That should be enough now. Okay, yeah, there's the attack. I can never say that. Circle Circuit. There we go. Taking the KO against Landorus, taking 2 more prize cards, and now both players are tied at 1 prize remaining apiece. But if one of these Zubat finally evolves into Golbat, they can use his ability to take the KO against the opposing damaged Zubat and win the game. There's Colress to draw 11 cards. Okay, this should be enough to draw at least 1 Golbat to finish off the game. Did they get it? Yeah, with 11 cards, they're sure to have done it. Let's see what they get. Okay, it's going to be the Ultra Ball. This should be the game. Discarding 2N for any Pokemon out of the deck. And yeah, it's going to be the Golbat. And that's going to be the game. Golbat's going to be activating the ability Sneaky Bite to take the KO against the opposing Zubat to take the final prize card. And there's the handshake. Landorus is your winner. So what did you guys think of that battle? Let me know down in the comments below. And be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow and reach new viewers. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, this is the Holland Phantom logging out.